What's going home, Falcon fans? This is your boy Recondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're gonna talk about my keys to victory to beat the Chicago's Bears this Sunday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So I'll be honest with you guys today. I'm gonna keep it really simple because I think the Falcons need to get back to the basics, right? You talk about game plans. Football is it's complex games, and there's a lot of game plans that put into a lot of hard work, a lot of scheming and things like that. But a lot of times when you get down to it, it's about the fundamentals, the techniques, everybody just doing their job, doing the things that they need to do to actually be able to get a win. And I think the Falcons the last 2 weeks just have not been executing the way they need. Been some of the technique things, from a line of scrimmage, from the quarterback not stepping to his throws, being accurate, receivers not running the routes, guys not making the blocks, running backs not hitting the tracks the way they need to, defensive players not filling the gaps, like all the things that they need to do, all those simple things that you do in football. That's what we want to get back to this week. We need this. We need it. If Archie Smith saying we still in the hunt, this is a win that we need to have this week. Definitely won't be mathematically out of the playoff or anything like that, but we need to get back on track. These next 3 games are games that the Falcons can definitely win. Not saying that they're favorite or anything like that, but all 3 of these games should be a game that the Falcons could see themselves in a position to put themselves in the win this, with these 3 games that's coming up before the bye. So that's where I'm at today. The first thing I'm gonna get into is the injury report. Got some good news on the front. A couple of guys coming back. They was in limited practice day, but they were back out there on the field. We got to get to see some of those guys. And then we'll get into my keys, guys. You know how to do offense, defense, and special teams. So we'll get right into the injury report for this week's. So, like I said, good news out there. AJ Terrell is back at practice this week. He was definitely limited in practice today. He mentioned that he wanted to make sure to see how I feel throughout this week. So it's no guarantee that he's actually going to play. But if he go through the whole week of practice, hamstrings are really tricky. You get out there, you're guarding some fast receivers. You get into a long stride, and then you could injure it again. So hopefully, if he does get back out there, it's back to where he can actually play the way he needs to play. He does not re-injure himself. The worst thing you could do, tear it or something like that. What's going on, Kevin? That would be a bad thing. So, good news. AJ Terrell's back out there. He's limited in practice today, but he's back out there. So, that's a good thing. Eric Harris is also back on the field. He's limited in practice this week. Get that veteran safety back out there. He played a lot, not a whole lot in games, this year. Played a lot on special teams, but just having a veteran present back out there definitely is good for us. Felipe Frank did not practice. He's still out with a calf injury. Really, most of his snaps came on special teams anyway. Definitely could find somebody to fill that spot. And then in surprising news, the Atlanta Falcons bring Jalen Mayfield back off the IR to start his 21 days. I don't know how excited a lot of us probably will be about that, considering the way Jalen Mayfield played last season. Of course, he did not win the job this season. So, what's going on, Anthony? We just have to see, Jalen Mayfield getting back out there. More than likely, he probably won't be activated this week. Being out so long over time period, he probably need to get back into, practice and things like that. But having, a young guy that they drafted last year coming in from year 1 to year 2, maybe we can see that jump from him. We know he did lose his starting job this year to Elijah Wilkinson, but Elijah's out, Hennessy's out. I thought Kobe Gozick didn't play well in the Carolina game. Got beat a lot of times. Got a couple of holding penalties. So we want to be able to make sure that we get somebody to fill in that left guard spot, so we get some more continuity back in that position. I thought we was running the ball well. The passing, we was holding up in the passing game, all those things. And now it get to the point where that spot becomes unstable, and then we start having issues. So if Jalen Mayfield can help with that, we'll see. Of course, the guy they picked up, you guys remember, Chuma, they picked him up after the 53-man roster. If you guys recall, he was working out today at left guard as well today. So he might be the guy that they fill in for that. That's why they picked another offensive lineman up, a guy, and to see what he'll be able to do. He was getting some starting reps today. Like I said, Kobe Gossett did not play that well in the game against Carolina. So we want to make sure that we could get somebody to solidify that spot. It's the name of the game. We understand that it's injuries. So next man has to step up. And at this time, right now, whoever we're going to have in that left guard spot, we're going to have to start to hold their own, or we're going to have to start issues like we seen in that Carolina game. Too many holding penalties, too many times got beat. And they was doing it deliberately. If you look at the game, they kept lining guys right up over him to try to make him figure out what was going to do, and he was getting beat constantly in the inside, making Marcus Mariota come out the pocket. And when that happened, Marcus Mariota did not, do the right things he should do when you're under pressure like that. Who was the DB guy from the Chiefs we picked up from the practice squad? The guy DB Felton. He actually played in the Carolina game. Number 21. He played all right. He did give up a big play on that slant. Remember I talked yesterday some of the big plays that we gave up. But he did give up one big play in their game. But I thought he played a lot better than the young cornerback that we had in there, Cardinal Armstrong. So Felton is out there, but hopefully, we get AJ Terrell back out there. He's back at practice this week. Maybe we don't have to. We can have Felton have spot minutes this time instead of actually going in. Said not for you talking about the I know you're talking about the guy we picked up on the practice squad yesterday. And my bad, I forgot to actually mention that yesterday. Hold on just a minute. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's one of the things that I definitely got to mention yesterday. I always like to talk about the new Falcons that the Falcons add to their roster. So while I'm looking for that, guys, can somebody tell me who are they looking for to actually to shine this week in this game for the Atlanta Falcons? Who needs a bounce back or something like that? The guy that they picked up, and thanks Anthony, the guy that they picked up on the practice squad was the defensive back Devon Key. So that's the other guy they picked up. We know that the Falcons love picking up guys to come in and solidify, spots. They love giving guys opportunities to see what they can do. Like I said, Cardinal Armstrong, he tried his hardest out there, but we'll see what Devon Key what he's going to be capable of. This actually, if they actually activate him, because they can bring guys up off the practice squad and bring those guys in to actually help. So that's just another guy that the Falcons definitely brought in this week, and that's what we got to do. Kevin said the whole team, the whole offensive line. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that 100%. We didn't run the ball well in the game, and we definitely didn't pass protect well. I mean, just to be honest, the Carolina Panthers had a great defensive front. So we knew it was going to be tough in the trenches for us, but I just thought we got beat up in the trenches, in the Carolina game on both sides of the ball, not just the offensive line, but the defensive line as well. They ran the ball well. You said, is he good? I have never heard of him either. I'm gonna have to do some homework on Devon Key to see what he's all about. So I'm not 100% sure how he can contribute to the team. I'm just really, be honest with you, I'm just hoping that AJ Terrell can be out there to help us out. I mean, it's people underestimate how good AJ Terrell is in the running game and in the passing game. So he's definitely, and he's a leader on the team. So being able just to have his presence back out on the in that defensive backfield is definitely going to give those guys confidence. And then if he can pick up where he started to play better, before he got an injury, that's what we need to see from AJ Terrell. Just hope that his hamstring is 100%. As he said, we definitely need to beef up the front defense for sure. Yeah, I mean, if I was going into the off season and I was talking about a need for the Atlanta Falcons, I'd definitely say the defensive line is somewhere that they definitely need to beef up. I love the way Grady Jarrett and Taquan Graham plays, but that's just not enough. We need somebody else there as well. To come in and give us some spot minutes. I mean, Grady does what he do, Taquan Graham does what he do, but if you notice when those guys rotate out, because they don't play the whole game, and sometimes you can tell when they're out because when those guys go out, it seemed like the running game for the other team started to get going, and so we definitely, I mean, and we know that the Falcons knew that was a need for them. Remember, we had the Goldman retire on us right before the season started. We had Vincent Taylor get injured. We had so many guys go down in that position, and they kept bringing in guys to try to find the right guy. So the Falcons knew it was a need. Of course, they got rid of Anthony Rush because who wasn't producing. They got rid of Marlon Davidson because who couldn't stay healthy. So at this point, we got some guys that came off the practice squad. We got some undrafted free agents that's in there playing their hearts out, but we need more depth at that position. We need some experience. We need some talent there, and hopefully, this offseason they can improve in those spots. And then he says, Grady need help. We want, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We need somebody besides Grady. I think Taquan Graham has been solid though. If you go back and look at his tape, not getting a lot of sacks and things like that, but his penetration and his point of attack, he's not getting moved off the line. But it has to be more than just Grady and Taquan. This have to be somebody else to actually to step in. Okendeji, we have not heard a lot from him this season at all. So I will hopefully he take a bigger step. I mean, he's playing solid, filling the run game like he should. I don't think he's a factor in the pass rushing game. That's why I think Armor Ebiketie has been getting more snaps, rushing the passer. But we just got to have these young guys start to step up. Remember, we do have a young team, so that's the way it is. So, guys, let's talk about the injury report for the Chicago Bears real quick. They injury report a little bit longer than the Atlanta Falcons. Guys who did not practice today was Cole Kmet, their tight end. David Montgomery, but he was for personal reasons. That's why he did not. He's going to be the starter since their starting running back went out for the season. Offensive lineman Telvin Jenkins did not practice, who did not play in the game last Sunday. Also, their DN, Al Quanin Muhammad and cornerback Kendall Viler. None of those guys the practice today. 3 of those guys did not play in the game on Sunday, so it'll just be determined if they're going to be able to go this weekend. Limited in practice today was their cornerback Kyle Garner and safety Dunn Curtin-Striker. So those guys are the ones that on their injury report, they was limited. Those 2 guys, the rest of them did not practice. So that's the injury report. But we're going to get into the keys. I don't think none of these guys that going to factor in my keys today. Like I told you guys, but when I first started the show, My keys today are based on just the fundamentals, basic football, right? If they do these things, we should be able to be in the game where we need to be going into the fourth quarter. So that's my keys today. That's the injury report. Hopefully AJ Terrell can go this week. We'll check it every day to see how he's progressing. But through the week, he's trying to get a feel for that hamstring. Don't want to re-injure it because it could be, could make it worse. So being out for 3 games, hopefully that's enough to get that hamstring where we need it to be. All right, let's go into our keys. So you guys know definitely that I go offense, defense, and special teams. Offensive keys today, like I said, simple offensive keys for me. Want to keep it simple because I just want the Falcons to play solid football this week. Don't want to get too technical on things, but your first key, definitely you want to run the ball and control the clock. It's just that simple. That's what the Falcons good at. Run the ball, control the clock. I don't really care. We don't pass the ball a lot. We can run the ball and control the clock. That's what I want to see from the Falcons. We need a win. So, yes, I won't lie. I love to see the passing game get going and things like that. But for me, this game plan, go out, run the ball, control the clock. That's what we want to do against the Chicago Bears. My second key, like I said, keeping it simple, be good on third down. We can't have those 3 and outs that we've been having of late. Those 3 and outs are killers. We have to keep our defense off the field, but we got to start getting a rhythm as an offense. So our third downs, we got to be really good on third down this weekend. Simple as that. We know that's the money down in NFL. If we can be good on third down, definitely I think it'll bode well for us. Of course, that goes without saying because we're not good on first and second down. Third downs get tougher and tougher for us. But if we run the ball like we can run the ball and be good on third down, that's what we want to see. My first 2 keys on offensive side of the ball. Be good, run the ball, be good on third down, run the ball, control the clock. We can do those 2 things to start off. That's what we want to be. And then the last thing, hey, like I said, let's score some touchdowns. Those long 14, 9, 10 play drives that we produced, we have to start putting points on the board. All right. It's just that simple. All right. We're going to go out. We want to be able to improve on the things we've been doing. It's week 11. It's November. It's time to show that what kind of team we really are. At this point of the season, I feel like you are established your identity as a team for this year, right? We are running hard-nosed team. We talked about it early in the season that these guys want to run the ball, be physical on both sides of the ball. From offensive standpoint, we want to be able to run the ball, control the clock, be good on third down, and now we want to score, make sure that we score touchdowns. So it's just that simple, guys. Those are my keys to victory on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said, the basics, fundamentals, run the ball. That means our offensive line needs to block well. Our running backs need to make sure that they're getting their tracks right, hitting the hole hard, going downhill. Our quarterback need to make sure that he getting the guys in the right plays based off how the defense is set up. Just that simple, guys. That's what I want to see. Run the ball, control the clock. We want to make sure that we be good on third down. And then the last key, put points on the board. No field goals, touchdowns. It's just that simple. Kevin said part of the running game is had Mark Smarter run more. RPO, we have to score and play well when he gets some good wrestling. Yes, definitely. All right. I mean, if we're gonna have Marcus Mariota out there, you guys know how I feel about that. Talked about it yesterday. But if we're gonna have Marcus Mariota out there, we definitely need to have him run the ball. That's what he does well. He definitely need to be more in the RPO game, be more decisive when he pulls the ball. They need to call him, make him effective in the run game. That's why we have one of the best running attacks in this league this year because of our quarterback. We need to be able to utilize that weapon, that strength. So I agree with you 100%. Utilize Marcus Mariota more in the running game, um, to put the defense, the head of guessing, back to what we did. Think about it, what we did when we played against the New Orleans Saints at the beginning of the season. We had those guys on their toes, being able to figure out if he was going to keep the ball on the end. He was controlling that defensive end, that outside linebacker on the outside. That's what we want to see from Marcus Mariota. So definitely, Kevin, good point. We want to make sure that Marcus Mariota is part of this game plan this week and the running game. I 100% agree with you. So, guys, that's my offensive key. Offensive keys to victory. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball, which I think if for us to win this game, the defense is going to have to play a major role in this game for us. So we talk about the defensive keys. Like I said, I think our defense is going to have to play a major role. But just talk about the Bears offense. They're 32nd in passing. So if the Bears beat us, we should make them pass the ball, right? They're 32nd in passing, right? But they're first in rushing, right? So that's the contrast. They on the opposite side of their offense completely. They're 32nd in passing, first in rushing. That's their offense in a nutshell, right? Of course, they're first in rushing because of the element of their running quarterback, Justin Fields, right? So let's get into the keys of defense. I just wanted to throw those stats out there for you guys to understand my mindset when I was coming up with these keys. What we got to be able to do to be able to control this offense for the Chicago Bears. Keep in mind, yes, they only won 3 games, but they've been in a lot of the games that they played in because they control the clock. They run the ball a lot. They run the ball more than the Falcons do. Let me just say that they run the ball more than the Atlanta Falcons do. They run the ball a lot. So what that means, they limit possessions for your offense. That's why our defense have to be solid. We need to be able to get these guys off the field. If we let them control the game like they want to do, it's really going to hurt us. So that's one of the things that we got to be able to do. Be able to get off the field. Just simple as that. So the first key I got on defense is stop the run, right? That's what they want to do. We want to make those guys pass. I just told you guys they're first in rushing, last in passing. Now, this is the funny thing about this whole thing. Atlanta Falcons probably last in passing defense, right? So, of course, having them pass play into our weakness, but we want to make them use their weakness to beat us, right? So if you want to say weakness against a weakness, that's what we're going to try to do. We do not want them to run the ball. We want to be able to stop the run. We want to be able to utilize those guys to go out and make Justin Field be a passer, right? That's what we want to do. Easier said than done, I understand, because like I said, they're number 1 in rushing. So they're going to run the ball the way they run it. Yes, their number 1 running back is out this week. But Dave Montgomery is more than capable. But I think the biggest factor for us to worry about is going into my second key for defense, and that is do not let Justin Field wreck the game, right? Because his off-schedule runs, that's what's going to hurt us. If we go back to last season, we got burnt a lot on scrambling quarterbacks. We have done a whole better job this year dealing with scrambling quarterbacks. But I think this is going to be one of our toughest battles. Besides when we play Baltimore, because of course going up against Lamar Jackson, in Baltimore later on this season. But I really believe that this is going to be one of our toughest battles going up against a running quarterback because he runs the ball with purpose. He runs the ball. That's their offense. If you go back the last 3 games, the way he's been running the ball, and it's a lot of it's some of it's design runs, some of it is design runs, but a lot of it's off schedule, going out, guys not keeping their gaps, keeping their gap integrities, getting going off freaking off schedule, doing their own thing, getting out of their lanes, and he wrecks the game. So that's what we don't want to do. I can tell you this much, and I know you guys can agree with me when I say this. If Justin Fields, a Georgia boy who everybody, you know, wanted the Atlanta Falcons to take in, the draft last year instead of Kyle Pitts, come to Atlanta and dominates the game, and then we can't even get our number 4 overall pick, Kyle Pitts, the ball, and we lose, we can already just know what the narrative is going to be, right? Atlanta messed around, didn't pick Justin Field. He came home and he dominated the Falcons. Did Atlanta make a mistake, right? It's already out there. It's already out there, right? He's starting to turn it around. He's looking good. Even though they're not winning, of course, that narrative is going to start. So Atlanta Falcons, don't let Justin Field wreck this game. He's coming home. It's homecoming for him. He's going to put on the show. That's what we expect. They should expect that 100%. So my second key: don't let Justin Field wreck the game, guys. Kevin said, "Give some kudos to London's and Pitts. They are tough. They got hit hard. Some of their last catches get them the ball." Yeah, man. Like I said, for this game, I'm just gonna stick to the basics. I agree with you 100%. I don't know why we can't. I talked about this yesterday on my live, that I don't understand why we can't get these 2 guys the ball. These are dynamic guys. Like you say, they're big and tough. Those are the right kind of guys you want on your team, right? Right. They go across the middle. They're not scared, right? They big. They physical. I mean, their range to catch it is so huge. I just don't understand why we can't get them the ball. So that's not one of my keys this week. Even though I want those guys to shine and do their thing, my key is to just run the ball, because obviously we can't do that. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. It don't seem like we could get Pitts and London the ball and let those guys do what they do for some reason with Marcus Mariota. So let's just keep it to the basics. Run the ball, be physical, be good on third down, and score touchdowns. All right, now my last key is, like I said, the Chicago Bears likes to control the game. They love to manage the clock. They love to limit possessions for the opposing teams. That's how they play the ball. They run the ball. Like I said, they run the ball more than the Falcons do. So we got to be good on third downs. It's just that simple. From a defensive standpoint, we got to be able to get out the field on third downs. Get into advantageous third down for those guys. It's definitely going to be good, because now you got, like I said, you got to factor in the quarterback. I guess their coach finally figure out how to use him, because if you recall back in the earlier in the year, they didn't know how to use Justin Field. All of a sudden, they're using his legs. They're using him as a weapon to go out, and he's doing the things he need to do. So we need to be able to get out the field on third downs. We can't do that. It's going to be a long day for the Falcons, because, like I said, the more time they have the ball, the less our offense has it. And from what we've been seeing, we're not a quick straight offense. We also, try to control the clock, try to dominate the time as well. So it's going to be limited. And at this time right now, I'm looking at about 7 possessions per team in this game. That might be a little bit too high, but I only see this because both teams want to run the ball. They want to control the clock. I don't see a lot of possessions for either of these teams in this game. And you said can't let Fields have a field day on our defense. Exactly, man. That's trust me. He's boy coming from Atlanta. I think in the press conference that day, his favorite team growing up was the Atlanta Falcons. His dad had season tickets. Trust me, he's coming to Atlanta to show out. That's just you better believe that. That's what he's doing. So we got to be ready for that. Most times they stay cover. Opponents know that. Yeah, you talking about Pitts in London? I don't think they stay cover. I honestly I don't know what to say about the passing game. Like I'm just gonna because for some reason our passing game can't get unlocked this year. So so I have that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on with our passing game. What do you think about 44 spy him? Yes. I mean they're gonna pull out all that. Of course, I think they're gonna utilize a spy. And definitely this is the easy answer. You utilize Troy Anderson, right? Because he's full for speed, big linebacker, going up against a big, strong, solid quarterback and Justin Fields. Put a spy on him. I think the biggest key is probably stay out of a lot of man to man, right? Because you go down, guys have man to man, everybody turn their back, right? Those lanes open up. Now he's out the door. So I would see the Atlanta Falcons play a little bit more zone, keep the eyes on the quarterback, keep him in the pocket. Like I said, make him a passer, make him beat you with his arm, instead of his legs. He averages 100. The Chicago Bears average 128 passing yards a game. Like I said, they're last in passing. So why not make him a passer this week instead of a runner? So that's the idea. It's easier said than done. You have to play to your strengths and things like that. But that's what we want to do. We want to make Justin Field a passer, not a runner. So definitely using Troy Anderson as a spy won't hurt, but don't let that not be the only way we defend him because doing the same thing all game can actually get you in trouble. So like I say, crazy ass year so far. Defense will stay disciplined. If we lose, put in the kid. Hey, don't put that negative energy out there if we lose, right? Let's just say we're gonna win, right? Hopefully they stay disciplined. Hopefully they do. Like I said, it's one thing to not know what they expect from a team, right? What their formula is, what you expect them to do, and then knowing it. So the Falcons, it's no secret what the Chicago Bears want to do, right? Their their main weapon, especially with their running back out, um, and David Montgomery, he's a veteran guy, right? But he's not the number one guy. So their number one running back out, Justin Field is that guy, and we know that's what they're trying to do. So we got to be able to be prepared for that. So just like you said, they need to stay disciplined, stay in their lanes, right? No running up field, trying to go for the kill shot. And I go back to guys defending Michael Vick. And I still remember this. I think the best team to defend Michael Vick was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They played their cover two, and they didn't go upfield real quick. The rushing, they tried to get a sack. They just stayed there and made them pass the ball. That's what they did. If you go back and look at film, the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they had Tony Dungy there when they played that cover two against Michael Vick, they stayed in their lanes and they didn't rush up field to try to go for the kill shot sack because once you do that, if you miss, he's out the backside, right? And so what they felt was make Michael Vick a passer, keep him in the pocket. Not comparing Justin Fields to Michael Vick because it's only one Michael Vick. But my point is that's a good way to keep him inside the pocket. Where you guys stay in your lane, stay in your rush lanes, make him be a passer, right? Um, as a late, he's on the what I call it. He's like fuck it, he's gone, right? His read ain't there, fuck it, I'm gone. That's what he's doing. So if we can make him have to think and have to be a passer, um, that's what we want to try to create this week. against a Justin Fields. So that's like I said, I don't know Dean P's scheme. I'm not sure what he's going to try to do. Like you said, he probably put a spy on him. They definitely could do that. Um, I say play a little bit more zone, put that too high safety. Now, if they're running the ball down our throat, we have to bring another guy down in the box. That's fine as well, but we want to be able to make those guys pass the ball. A passing coverage is the to go or to a cover two, because if you go cover two, now you're inviting the passing game for Justin Fields, vice the running game. So that's what we want to do. They go 8 in the box, go man to man. Now your defensive backs got that back turn. He get out the backside, big play, big boo boo. That's not what I want to see. So, Dean Pease definitely can mix it up out throughout the game, try to confuse him. Let's remember Justin Fields just still in his second season. You can give him different coverages, like I said, try to confuse him to make him make a mistake as well. But it's gonna be interesting to see this matchup between this savvy defensive coordinator we got and the new coach for the Chicago Bears. It's going to be very interesting to see that. So, guys, those are my 3 keys on defense. Stop the run, number 1 rushing team in the league. We got to be able to do that, right? Let's do that. Number 2, don't let Justin Fields wreck the game. Don't let him come have a great homecoming. All right, make it be one of his miserable times that playing in Atlanta. That's what we want to see this week. And then the last thing is be able to get out the field on 3rd down, give our offense back the ball to have the many possessions they need to get their offense in rhythm. Don't let the guys run long drives and put up points on us. That's what we want to be able to do this week against the Chicago Bears on defense. Either Mill say, I think Pease is gone in there. Yeah, we don't believe your attitude. That right. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I really believe that Justin Fields is going to try to come out and do his thing this week. So that's what I hope. If he can beat us in the passing game, hey, I'm gonna tip my hat off to him. Right now, the Falcons do got the worst passing defense in the league. So let's just go ahead and say that they do. So if they can beat us in the passing game, hopefully AJ Terrell, comes back and he can help us out with that this week. But I still want to take away their strength. I mean, the number 1 rushing team in the league. If we make those guys passer, they're not playing to their strength. It's just that simple to me. So that's what I'm hoping to see. All right, guys, let's get into my last keys, special teams, right? Special teams are just, like I said, keeping it simple. I can be honest with you. I've been disappointed with special teams in the last 2 weeks, especially with Younghoe Koo. Just as simple. Of course, he missed the extra point last week on Thursday. He missed a field goal against the Chargers. Just silly mistakes. Like I said, fundamentals. Like I talked about earlier, fundamentals in this game. And you sometimes you just don't overlook special teams because it's so routine, right? These guys practice all they do. They practice is routine, but special teams is a big part of this game. And I thought our special teams, did not play well in some spots in the last 2 games. So my first key is field position, of course. I thought we made a good punt last week in Carolina. We pinned those guys at the 2. When our offense sputtered out, got our offense the ball back because Panthers went 3 and out. That's what you want to see. All right, that's complementary football. Pin those guys deep, get the ball back, give your offense a shorter field to go out and put up points. So That's some positives we can do. We best definitely can be able to control field position. I think the best returner in the league, not if not one of the best, is Avery Williams. Make see can he get that ball, can create better field position as well. So those are the kind of things I want to see. First key on special team is to create that field position. We got to be able to do that. Like I said, AJ helps the run game so much. Good tackler. Yes, he does, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like people don't understand how good of a player AJ is because he's a great tackler at the cornerback position. He comes up, make a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage, tackling, right? And he, of course, we know about his coverage ability. So just having AJ presence out there alone is definitely going to help us. Hopefully, he's 100%, right? Hopefully, you have to get tested, test that hamstring up too quick, you know, going deep, trying to not get burned or anything like that. So, but AJ is definitely going to be a big key for us. For stay in your coverage lane on special teams, 100% definitely. We got to be able to do that. Stay in your coverage lane. We want to make sure that these guys can go out and do the things they got to do. Control the field position. Don't give up no big plays on our kicks, and create terrible field position on them. That's what we're trying to do. Anthony says, Recondo, do you think we will be able to throw on the Bears defense? Do you think we are making some changes over the bye, especially on the passing completions, especially Pitts and London? I don't know. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, man. Like, um, at this point, I mean, it's been 10 weeks, and I've been talking about having this game, having this passing game evolve. But at this point, I just think it's what it is. I just think this is what it is. That's what I think. I just think it's what it is at this point. Um, I wish they could get it going. I mean, I think the best passing game we don't had. I know Marcus Mario went 13 for 14. He was the offensive player of the year. I mean, of the week. I said the year of the week. Um, back in that San Francisco game. But I think the best passing game we probably had was that Seattle game. I thought we came out, we was passing the ball all over the field, had some great throws in that game. If we can see something like that again, I think that'll be very helpful for us. But I just the what we have seen has been far in between the passing games be the way it needs to be. All right. Like I said, it's no secret that when you pick somebody at number 4 and number 8 in the draft, you didn't pick those guys if they're pass catchers to block. That's not why they was picked. That high in the draft, they was not picked to be blockers. I understand that's where our offense set up. We run the ball a lot. We want those guys, and those guys are troopers. They go out and they do what they're told. They're blocked down the field. You have seen so many big run plays where Drake London and Kyle Pitts are blocking downfield, doing the things that they're supposed to do. But those guys were put on this team to help the passing game. And right now, um, I don't know what to tell you because at this point, I would definitely expect their numbers to be higher. Um, their mismatches and just by their size alone, just giving those guys opportunity. At this point, a lot of the times we just can't get no connections between the quarterback and the receivers. So um, hopefully it gets better. But at this point, I mean, I haven't seen any evidence aside for like 1 or 2 games where the passing game has been really effective. So um, that's why yesterday I was advocating for a change at quarterback to get the passing game going. But like I said, I'm sticking with what Arthur Smith want. We're going to see what he'll be able to do. That's why my keys is to run the ball this week, not to throw it, because I they should be able to pass on any team for the most part. A lot because Kyle Pitts will be a mismatch for a lot of defenses. I think Drake London, his size 6'4". The guy do not drop passes. Go look at Drake London when he's throwing the ball. He's pretty much catching everything. You just coming his way. So, but for some reason, they're just not in a lot of the game plans. It's like sporadic. It's like one or two catches here or something like that. So, and so that's what I see. Um, and maybe they change it in the future. We'll just have to see. Let's let's see CP loose again. Oh yes. Oh, you know what? You just brought up a good point, and I never really thought about this. It's a lot of former Chicago Bears on the Atlanta Falcons. So a lot of former Chicago Bears. We laughed about it, in when we during the offseason, all the former Bears that they were signing. So it's a lot of former Bears on here. Our offensive coordinator is a former coach with the Bears. Ryan Pace came. We got Jermaine Fetty. Got a lot of former Bears. Of course, CP. So that's a good point. Maybe they want to be able to show something as well. Another, you know, narrative that you can add to the game as well. A lot of former Bears, right? They was calling it what Atlanta, Chicago soft at one point, right? Because we had so many former Bears coming in playing for this team, and now we're going to see what they'll be able to do. Great point, Millie Mills. Um, we can't be having pits open and not progressing like the last game. Hey, like I said, man, we ride with Marcus Mariota. That's who we ride with. So, um, if Pitts the first read, he's open. He's gonna hit him. If he's third read, he's probably gonna scramble out and try to make a play. That's how he does it. So, um, we just have to see what happens. I can tell you this stat. Everybody should know the stat by now. Every time Kyle Pitts goes for 80 yards, we're 5-0. We're 5-0. So let's get Kyle Pitts the ball. We get him 80 yards, we probably win the game. This season is done. Put the kid in to see what happens. My opinion only. Oh no, it's not done. Mathematically, we're still in it. We are definitely still in it. And in my opinion, I think if you put the kid in, I don't know if it'll get worse. That's just my opinion right now at this point. So maybe the passing game might wake up. So I'm with you. Put the kid in. It's just me. Recondo is because Marcus Mariota. I had faith in him, but now it's bull absolutely. Look, if you go back and look at my videos. I've been advocating for Marcus Mariota for like the whole season. I'm just being honest with you. I understood why they was doing it. I love the way he was playing. But man, I'm gonna tell you, I was at the Chargers game. We should have won the Chargers game. That game should have been a W. And it shouldn't even been close. Kyle Pitt was open, wide open twice down the field. And we missed it, man. Like the game shouldn't have been close in that Chargers game. That's when I lost it. And then last week, Thursday night game, I was not impressed. And it wasn't completely his fault. Offensive line played horrible as well. But some of the plays he made when he did have time just made me feel like the rookie could have did that. You see what I'm saying? So, and unless you want Marcus Mariota, you think he's the future, I really don't understand at this point why he's in the game. That's just my opinion, and I'm just going to stick with it at this point. Might be an unpopular opinion, now I think I'm on the Ritter side because I think the fan base is split now between Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter, and I have went to the Ritter side. It's just me. Maybe somebody can explain to me. I don't know, man. And if you think about it, when he did it, when the one in Carolina, Kyle Pitts maybe scored on that because it was just one defender out there, right? when he overthrew him in that game. It's one defender. He may have scored on that catch. I mean, those are kind of plays because in the reality, we don't throw the ball a lot. So when you do throw it, you got to capitalize on those opportunities. And right now, we're not. I mean, the Chargers game, we didn't throw the ball a lot, but the opportunities we had, they were open. They were open opportunities, and we missed them. I mean, it's just me. Guys. I'm just like I said. I didn't want to make this about Marcus Mariota, but we talked about it. You guys asking questions, so back out here again talking about it. I won't be surprised if the fans start chanting Ritter on Sunday. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, the worst thing can happen on Sunday is Justin Fields come home and wreck the game, and Kyle Pitts have like 2 receptions, right? Because we picked Kyle Pitts over Justin Fields, right? So that's the worst thing can happen. I'm just be honest with you guys. If Justin Fields come home, wreck the game, Kyle Pitts have like 2 receptions, and the question is, why you pick a guy number 4 overall if you're only going to target him? Yeah, he only going to have 2 receptions in the game, and he's the number 4 overall pick. You have to explain that. Like I said, it's the narrative, but it is what it is. That's a fact. Number 4 overall pick, receiver, tight end, right? And he only got 2 catches, and you could have picked the guy that wrecked the game. That's going to be the narrative. That's not my narrative. I know the fan base is going to be out there clamoring, asking those questions. Reporters, they already talking about it. If you go look now, D. Orlando Ledbetter already talking about Justin Fields coming home, and questions out there. Did the Falcons make a mistake? All this stuff. It's already out there already. So Justin Fields come home and wreck the game, and Kyle Pitts is not involved in the game plan at all. Just mark my word, guys. I'm telling you. I still got faith to mark on praying over the bye they can get together and stop going 3 and outs and defense breaks, 3 drives. They got 3 games before the bye now. You got to remember that. They have 3 games before they go into bye. So we got a while before that. If we still talking about Marcus Mariota, can't get the ball, the season's really gonna be over by then, by the bye. If we lose these games, so these games are important for us. First, we just got to worry about the Bears, but the Commanders next week, and then the Steelers after that. So we got to be able to get in some kind of rhythm, and that's what we got to do. What is Arthur Smith going to do when the fans start demanding Ritter? When he don't care. I can tell you right now, Arthur Smith don't care about what we think at all. He can care less about what the fans think, man. Like I said, these guys got a plan. It seems like they're sticking with their plan. They're doing it with they're doing their thing, going out, just out there balling. That's what they're doing. So they don't care. They don't care what we think. He got a plan for Ritter. Whatever his plan is, he's planning it out, right? So I think as long as he feel like we still in the playoff hunt, which right now we are, he's going to stick with the veteran quarterback, no matter what anybody thinks. So that's what it boils down to. Only problem is we don't see what's happening in practice. Maybe Ritter right now isn't ready. Maybe that's 100% true. But the question I got, was Trevor Lawrence ready? Not. I know Trevor Lawrence was number 1 pick. Was he ready? Was Kenny Pickett ready? I mean, if you feel like this guy's the future, right? What you waiting on? Like I said, we don't know. You're right, 100%. I have no idea why he's doing the plan he's doing. Go back. Somebody mentioned yesterday about how Patrick Mahomes didn't play his first season, right? Because they had Alex Smith. But I can tell you, Alex Smith didn't play. Did not play like Marcus Mariota playing. Just saying. He did not play like that. So it was no rush to get Patrick Mahomes in the game, right? And it's not just the fans saying it, right? It's it's everybody saying the same thing. And Marcus Mariota, he has to know that he's pretty much doing the same thing. I thought last week on Thursday night was Marcus Mariota's worst game because of the way the mistakes he made. I mean, running out of bounds on third down, taking a sack, losing like 15. I mean, like 5 or 6 yards, running out of bounds. Throw the ball out of bounds, man. Why are you running out of bounds? Um, Throwing the ball across your body more than once. What was that when he hit the ground and just threw it up for grabs? Those are rookie mistakes. I thought he pressed. He was trying to make a play. He was trying to play hero ball, and when he did that, he got out of the things he had been doing all season long. Being solid, controlling the game, controlling the offense. I thought he got out of his element in that Thursday night game, and to me, that was just the last straw for me. That's where I was with it. But Arthur Smith seems to think that just 2 game skid, it definitely can get better, and he definitely can. I agree, but it's not going to be to the point where it's going to miraculously start seeing Kyle Pitts and Drake London with 100-yard games. I don't see that. I was happy when Ryan left and Matt Ryan was our quarterback, but it's not working. Too many mistakes, crazy plays. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. It's funny you mentioned that, EQ, because Matt Ryan could have. I guarantee you, Kyle Pitts and Drake London have more passing yards than Matt Ryan was our quarterback. That's strange to say, but yeah. What's going on, Bridget? I'm telling you right now, Matt Ryan was our quarterback. Drake London, Kyle Pitts have more passing yards. Now, Matt Ryan probably be sacked way more times than Marcus Mariota. The running game might not be as effective as it is, but I mean, you'll be able to utilize the weapons that you got on the outside. Lumdays, the kids still be doing the things he been doing. Drake London will be featured way more. Kyle Pitts, guys, he had over 1,000 yards last year with Matt Ryan. The passing is not there for Marcus Mariota. The same offensive coordinator is calling the guy. The head coach was calling the plays last year. He's the same guy. Why we can't get Kyle Pitts the ball? Somebody explain that to me. What's different? Only difference to me is that Marcus Mariota is not Matt Ryan. That's the only difference. The offensive line is the same offensive line. Right. Marcus Mariota is getting out of trouble, his mobility and things like that, but he can't throw the ball down the field, man. It's just a fact. The question is, if it's not a fact, why Arthur Smith is calling such a different game plan for Marcus Mariota than he would call for Matt Ryan in the passing game? Why? Why is that the case? I mean, he could utilize the same run schemes he's using, but when it comes to passing the ball, just call it like you called it last year for Matty Ice. Just explain that to me. I'm getting on my soapbox about this. But the quarterback situation isn't the only problem. Pass rush, the boy. I 100% agree with you. There's so many issues on this team. Defense gave up 232 yards rushing in the Carolina game, right? So that's big. We gave up 2 minutes explosive plays in that game. Two of their scores came off explosive plays, right? We got bullied in the trenches on both sides of the ball, 100% accurate. All those things are accurate, right? But like I said yesterday, is that coaches get their best players involved in the game. That's what they do. That's what coaches' job is, to get their best players and have them do what they do best in game. Put them in the game plan. Kyle Pitts' best asset is catching balls and running after the catch, being dynamic in the passing game. Drake London, from what we've seen so far, his physicality after he get the ball in his hand, that's what we've seen from these guys. They don't have opportunities to do that. That's the fact. So I agree with you. So many issues. across the board. Pass rush not being what it is. Um, Defensive line got bullied around. Offensive line's not doing anything. But two of our best players on the team is not being utilized as well. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Man, with three good running backs, Ricky. I'm hey, I'm with you, man. I'm on your side. This offseason is going to be fire, probably one of our best ever. I hope so. We got a lot of cap space. We definitely can fill a whole bunch of needs this offseason, free agency, draft. Hopefully, guys come back, from year one to year two and get better. And it's going to be awesome. I agree with you 100%. But we got to finish this season first, right? Let's see if these guys can do the playoff push and do the things they got to do. Bridget says, I don't know what y'all thought was going to happen when we signed Mariota. For it's like we were going to get the Super Bowl quarterback issue, folks. I agree with you guys. I agree with you. Like I said, they got a plan. They got a plan. They were not going to the Super Bowl, right? I agree with you 100%. I'm so happy. I love this team this year. I really do. I really love this team. The fight they got, it's exciting to go to the games. They in every game. We only got blowed out one game this season, and that was the Cincinnati game. For the most part, this is a great, a solid, exciting team to watch week in and week out. But as fans, we want more, man. We could be better. That's all. So I agree with you 100%, Bridget. I'm being what would you call it? I'm being the negative right now. I'm being negative. I'm usually positive. I really am. I'm still going to root for the team. I'm still rooting for Marcus Mariota 100%. I hope he get another offensive player of the week this week. He went 13 for 14, 135 quarterback rating, something like that. It was awesome. It was outstanding. So I hope he does well. But in my opinion, I just think, what will it hurt to put the rookie in? It's just my opinion. So that's all it is. More and getting mad. I'm not mad. Like I said, I'm just because I love this team, man. Like I'm rooting for this team. I'll be at the game on Sunday, and I'll be rooting for them again. But like I said, I think this at this point we people don't pick sides, right? Ritter and Mariota. That's the side. That's it. And I was on the Mariota side until Thursday night football game. That was it for me. That was it. I had been defending him up to that point. So, but after Thursday night football game, I switched sides. Speaking of getting better, Richard Grant took a step. Yeah, man, Richard Grant. If you just talk about last year, he was second round pick, right? And then he didn't even play a lot, early in the season. He finally got in, and he was playing nickel because Isaiah Oliver went out and things like that. But this season, he's definitely stepped up. He's playing great football, and he actually was the highest graded player for the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday night. So you're 100% correct. Richard Grant has came to his own. That you love to see it. I agree with you 100%. Richard Grant has played his butt off this year, and that's the jump we want to see from a player from year one to year two, is being able to see a guy like Richard Grant step up. So hopefully we get that jump from guys like a Armor Ebiketie, right? We see him get better and better throughout the year. Hopefully he can do that, right? We were hoping to see Okendeji be able to do better. He's played solid this year. He's not played bad. He's played solid football. Taquan Graham, he's another guy. Don't forget about him. The way he stepped up and the things he's doing. Avery Williams came in last year as a cornerback and one of the best returners in the league right now. So that draft class is looking really good right now from a standpoint. Jalen Mayfield just coming back. We don't know what to expect from Jalen Mayfield. We'll just have to see. Of course, Kyle Pitts. So that last year draft class is It's really good draft class for us, and all those guys are trending in it for the most part. Usually when you pick a draft class, you want like what 2 or 3 guys to hit. I already see that in the Falcons: Kyle Pitts, Richard Grant, Taquan Graham, just those 3 guys, and Avery Williams. Those 4 guys already is solid football players who I can see having a big future in Atlanta moving forward. So that's awesome for us. Um, I'm done with Mariota, but I hope he can get it together actually to be a quality backup for us next year. We'll see, man. We'll see. He still definitely have a chance. I mean, Arthur Smith put it in perspective, which he could understand. In a 5 day period, we lose 2 games. Everybody is up in arms and upset about the way Marcus Mariota played. Like I said, I'm with you. I'm done too, but I'm still riding with him until we see what they do moving forward. I just don't think he's accurate enough to pass the ball. I think he's a one read quarterback, and if that read's not there, he get too flustered, don't know what to do, get out the pocket, then try to make a play and almost make a mistake. That's what he does. But um, he has won games for this year. He commands the offense. That's why he's still in it. And Arthur Smith was going to ride with him until we're no longer in the playoff hunt. So that's the plan. Maybe the rookie isn't ready. No one knows. But Arthur Smith and the staff, I'm pretty sure they have some type of plan. Maybe they don't just want to throw him out of the game for some reason. We will see. You're right. They have a plan. They obviously have a plan for Ritter, because if they didn't, I think we would already seen him. So I agree with you. I think before the season start, he sat down with the coaching staff, with Terry Fontenot, and they came out with a plan, right? And I think the plan was, if we stay in playoff contention, we're going to ride with Marcus Mariota. And to that point, we won't see Ritter. I think that's the plan. I really believe that's the plan for the Atlanta Falcons. If we still in the playoff hunt, they're going to stay with the veteran. So I agree with that 100%. That's the plan. So we're going to just ride it out and see what happens. Is Jalen Mayfield playing Sunday? Jalen Mayfield is back off IR. He has 21 days, before they have to activate him. I don't think he's going to play. I think he's been out too long. I think he's going to have to practice a couple of weeks at least before they actually activate him. So I don't think he's going to play. Man, I'm with you. That would be interesting, really interesting to see Jalen Mayfield get out there. Man, that would be really scary for our offensive line. She said he thinks so. I don't think he's gonna play. I don't think they're gonna activate him. I think he's going to sit one week. Hopefully. This team is young, but the coach hates to make decisions. See, you gotta think about it. Arthur Smith is playing it. I think like Bridget was saying, I think they got a plan. And what you have to like about the coach, he's not overreacting, right? They had a plan. They're not going to just go ahead and pull it because everybody's in their feelings, like me, right, and other fans that want to see Ritter. He's not going to pull the plug. He don't care what we think anyway. So, but I think you got to respect that about Arthur Smith. He's sticking to his guns. He's going to ride with it. And to Bridget's point, we don't know if Ritter's ready yet, right? He did get chewed out a lot in preseason. You go back and look at those games. He was getting chewed out a lot in preseason by Arthur Smith because, like I said, the operation of the offense, something just Desmond Ritter was not doing, far as the operation of the offense that Arthur Smith did not like. So he was coaching him really hard. So trust me, I believe that it's a plan out there. He's not going to tell us what it is. And if he would just tell us, maybe we'll stop asking about it every week, the reporters and everything. He's not going to tell us. But I really believe is, as long as we're in contention to make the playoffs, Marcus Mariota is actually going to stay in that starter. 330 says, if they're going to stick with Mariota, then the scheme has to reflect our skill set. I don't see how you can continue to allow teams to stack the box on defense. That's what I've been see. So this is the point where when you're watching the game, that's why we take shots. Because when they stack the box like that, we have been taking shots. The problem is we have not been hitting our shots. Because if we hit our shots, we have, you know, Demir Berg, they took a shot with him and he hit the shot. So we have hit a couple, but we haven't hit as much as we needed to. Because that's the only way you get these guys out of the 8-man box, right? Is to hit your shots that you take. And we have failed to hit shots. And a lot of times it's not because it wasn't there. It's because we couldn't get the ball to our weapons, or the offensive line broke down, or whatever the reason is. We're not able to take advantage of our opportunities because we don't take shots a lot. But the shots we take, especially to your point, when they stop the box in the 8-man fronts like that, we got to be able to capitalize on those. And right now, we have not been capitalized on those. That's the biggest issue with 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 going downfield when they have the 8-man fronts. So you're right. If we're going to play these 8-man fronts, because they're trying to stop our run, because guess what? They don't believe we can pass the ball. That's why they put 8-man in the front. Even though Kyle Pitts and Drake London on the outside, they don't think we can get in the ball. Because guess what, guys? We haven't showed a consistency be able to do that this season at all. So I would stack the box as well. That's what I would do. Look at the Panthers. They back and forth with quarterback, and look how their record now. They're starting Baker Mayfield Sunday. I don't know why PJ Tucker seems to be doing well. Well, I mean, they didn't trust PJ Walker to throw the ball, especially against us. He made like 3 or 4 plays, but guess what? They didn't have to because we got bullied on the offensive front. But they didn't even trust PJ Walker to throw the ball against us in that game. And that's why, because he had 3 picks in the previous game. So they did not trust him to be a passer. And maybe that's Arthur Smith don't trust Marcus Mariota to be a passer. Maybe that's why he called the game the way he calls it. So I don't know. But that's why they're going back to Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield is a better passer. But I agree with you. I thought PJ Walker was playing well. But they don't trust him to be passer. Then, like I said, you have to be able to pass the ball down the field. And the Panthers just signed Eric King. Oh, they did? I didn't know that. So they just that's interesting. They just signed another guy. We got I carry 10 to 15 yards is where Marcus Murray accurate schemes some slants to Drake and Kyle and let them make plays. So I'm glad you brought this up. If you remember the start of the game on Thursday, Marcus Mariota had 2 great passes in the middle of the field, right? And it looked solid, right? But you know why? Because that was his first reads. Those RPOs. He faked the run, pulled up the linebacker and the safety, and he threw behind him. Those are the first reads. Like I say, he's the first read quarterback. If his first read is there, he's gonna look good, man. I can tell you that right now. His first read is there, he's gonna look awesome. But if his first read's not there, he got to go through the progressions and things like that. Then you're gonna start to see what we saw on Thursday night. That's what you're gonna start to see. I don't understand why the Smith don't call short passes, just dink and dunk the ball and run. I agree with you. I mean, that's Tom Brady, bread and butter, right? Just run the West Coast offense. Just short passes, get the ball into your hand of your playmakers. He tries. I mean, if you watching the game, he calls screen plays for Kyle Pitts to try to get Kyle Pitts, involved in the game early. He tries to get CP involved in the game early on screen plays and stuff. He does try to utilize some of that West Coast flavor, the short passes and things like that. Short and run after the catch. But I mean, he just stick to what he knows best. That's that smash mouth football, play action, take shots. Every now and then. That's Arthur Smith in a nutshell, right? That's the way he play ball. Not a whole bunch of passing down the field. That's not what he does. And so, but I can tell you this: what's so interesting, and I keep going back to this because it's all the film we got on Desmond Ritter is the preseason. So I don't like to talk a lot about the preseason because no scheming and things like that. But I felt like he called the game different for Desmond Ritter in preseason than he did for Marcus Mariota. It just seemed that way. Desmond Ritter had a lot of down the field passes. Um, I mean, he showed his skill set from intermediate to crossing to timing routes. Right, he showed all that. He showed he was a rookie too because he made mistakes as well. But those are the things I seen, and it just seemed like in preseason, Arthur Smith called a different game for Desmond Ritter than he called for Marcus Mariota. That's just what it seems to me. Of course, they have a different skill set. Yes, but they both mobile. But Marcus Mariota is definitely more um, of a RPO guy. Some of the things go back to what he did when he was in Oregon, right? Desmond Ritter is more of a traditional pocket passer, but he's mobile. He is mobile. That's not taking away his athletic ability, but he's more of a traditional drop back passer. And maybe the game will have to change a little bit, especially our run game, right? Because the the advantage that Marcus Mariota provide and that read option is something that we kind of lose if we put Desmond Ritter in. So it's a give and take. I do understand that their running game might not be as dynamic as you know as it will be with Marcus Mariota in, but I think our passing game would be better. Okay, so those we got into this. We made this a whole about Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter show, which I love it. Right, I love talking with you guys and getting feedback back and forth with talking about how we feel about what direction this team's going in. One thing I can see with everybody I'm talking to that we all love the team. We want to see them do well no matter what, right? We're gonna root for whoever's out there playing for us. That's what is bottom line. You don't want anybody to fail. Definitely not me. So I want I want Marcus Mariota to succeed 100% if he's out there playing our quarterback position. So, and I think you guys will agree with me with that. Um, I got a feeling that Ritter and Regron are figuring out what suits him. Guarantee they got special. I agree with you. Like I said, I think the game will be called different. I just believe that. I really believe it be called different. For one reason, like I said, Ritter is not the runner that Marcus Mariota is, right? I can see him call a little bit more. He'll call it a little differently for Desmond Ritter. I think it'll be a more of a drop back game when you go to the passing. Of course, you're still going to do the play action and things like that, but that RPO will be less than it is with Desmond Ritter than it will be with like a guy like Marcus Mariota. But that's in the future. Like I said, the states stay with Chicago Bears and the Keys, and let's see can we get a win this week because at this point, Marcus Mariota is our QB1, and we got to make sure that the game plan that they put in for him is going to work. And for me this week, just go back over my keys before I get out of here. Run the ball, control the clock, be good on third down, and score TDs, not field goals. On the defensive side, start the run against the number one rushing attack. Don't let Justin Field wreck the game, right? Um, and then get off the field on third down. If we can do that, I think we'll be successful on offensive defensive side of the ball. Special teams, control the field position. Like always, make field goals, Young Way Cool. Let's stop missing field goals. I don't like the way you've been a little bit off these last two games. And then let's create some explosive plays in the kicking game and the receiving game. Those are my keys to victory this week against Chicago Bears. No matter who are out there, let's hold AJ Terrell's be ready to go. Let's make sure that we at the stadium, if you're going to be there, be loud, be ready to go. Let's root for the team. Let's get that W. All right, we're still in the hunt. We're not out of it yet. Arthur Smith is 100% correct on that. And until we get that, we got to be able to ride with this team, right? Got 3 winnable games coming up before we go into our bye. Let's see, can we go 3-0 in that week? But we had to start it on Sunday against the hometown kid, Justin Field, coming back home for his first time as a pro. And this is your boy Recondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.